Cooking is really important so that you can create the foods that you want for your family, foods that you enjoy, and whether it has to do with trying to manage health conditions or just the preferences of food that you like as a family. Cooking can also be a really creative process, trying new recipes, trying new methods, exploring new foods, and it brings people together.
We're going to spend the day together and we're excited about that. What I'd like is for you to maybe introduce yourself, tell us your name, what community you've come from, and I'd like to talk about food memories, something that would be like that comfort food, something that reminds you of just feeling good when you eat it.
Cooking's important to me because it's a way of connecting family together. It's about going back to the roots of your family. Cooking brings people from afar to come to visit. A lot of people always, if you invite someone over, the first thing they'll say is, "What you cooking?"
You know, food's always around us. If we want someone to come and partake in the informational sessions, like, you know, kind of want food there. This is the one way to bring people in.
So this training session we're having today, this Train the Trainer, community kitchen leader and food preservation workshop is important because it's something that the community members have asked for. Last year in 2022, there were a lot of conversations had in our food sovereignty assessment process. Conversations were had with over 100 community members from the partnering First Nations. And from that, there was a report and a summary made, and a lot of recommendations came out of it, as well as themes that were common to the communities. And so hosting this workshop today, having this training, is acting on what communities asked for. They wanted more training in hands-on food preparation so that they can work with their community members and teach those skills and have those community kitchens, those cooking classes, working with all age groups, whether it's youth, adults, elders, and feel more confident in their skills. A lot of people are doing this work already, but others want to get started in it. And so it's really great to bring people together, to share their tips, to share their ideas, to share resource ideas, as well as some hands-on experience and get some confidence from actually going through the process. You can learn some things online, but it's a lot easier, I think, when we learn this kind of skill in person together with other people.
You'll take hot jars, you'll set this on top of the hot jar, you'll get a ladle, you'll pour through until you get, look at this thing, it's so fancy, it has a 4-inch head.
Oh, he was looking for lids. I need one more lid.
We offered the training because the communities were asking for this type of training. In my past work experience in public health, we offered community kitchen leaders training. Many of these folks are running cooking programs already, but it's an opportunity to come together and get inspiration. They have a chance to talk to each other while they're trying things. They have a chance to see different spaces and different ways of doing things. And so I think that was an important opportunity for today.
I will share the skills learned today through the programming that we do at the health center. Like we do community kitchens, and then also I do lunch and learn. So I'm always providing meals for the community. And then I know me and my coworker Doug, we were talking about doing some canning in the fall. So it's just like, yeah, just sharing that throughout all our programming.
The way we cooked back in the day is totally different than how we're cooking today. Today we're flicking the switch of the stove, throwing stuff in the oven, whereas in the culture ways of our Anishinaabe people, we were utilizing the fire a lot.
It's always a good thing to bring something new into the community and share those things. It helps our community get away from the fast food diets more, and it really gives us that opportunity to cook some more healthier food for our communities, right?
I think this training is important to me because it's great to have a foundation of, I guess, knowledge on how to properly carry out programming.
When we come to these kind of workshops, you always want to be open-minded about what's happening, even though you have some experience and some background within kitchen life, but it's always good to see other people's tricks and trades. So those are great things to see. One thing I'm really looking forward to today is the jarring and preserving. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to today. Yeah.
So when we were putting this workshop together, we were inviting people from 14 partner First Nation communities that are part of this project together, understanding our food systems. And we are specifically looking for people who want to be doing this kind of work in their communities. The teaching of the cooking skills, the community kitchens, the cooking classes, the preservation and bringing people together. We were looking to really bring people who are doing the hands-on work in their communities, who are in the kitchen weekly, maybe daily, doing this kind of work.
I think cooking together is the best inspiration. They share the things that they've tried or the recipes that they have. So coming together in the training is inspirational. There's an energy, right? When everyone is together, and they can pass that energy on back to their communities. Maybe they'll feel more comfortable now that they've tried what a cooking program can look and feel like. Maybe they feel like, oh, I could actually do this in my community, and I could do it with this audience because it would work because I heard that this community is doing that. Hopefully, the energy of everyone coming together provides inspiration that they can take back to their communities.
So when it comes to the idea of culture and food, they're definitely intertwined. Many times people pass down recipes and cooking techniques from one generation to another in a family. And so when we think about a little larger than that, about culture, there's a lot of different processes and meanings associated, not only with the foods themselves, but how they're prepared, how they're served, how they're shared. So the foods and the beverages definitely are intertwined with culture from whatever someone's background is.
The food sovereignty part is really going back and reconnecting to our roots and understanding where our food comes from initially, seasonally hunting and understanding what's prime time for which animals during the time. So those are all connected, and the cooking aspects of both the food security and the food sovereignty just kind of go hand in hand with each other.
It's important to me because I get to go back to my community and bring the stuff I learned into my programming. I do a lot of cooking classes. I do a lot of outdoor cooking on our reserve. If we had more knowledge of what's in our food, how we got it, then we could become more active in going out and harvesting our own food.
Well, back in our community, I like to run kitchen workshops with the youth and elders. And one aspect of this program that I like to do is rebuilding that strength between our elders and our youth. As growing up, we always hear, go talk to the elders, ask them for advice and strategies and whatnot, right? But in some cases for our youth, we're a little shy about gaining this access, right? So I give them that opportunity by holding cooking workshops where a grandparent will bring a grandchild with them. And that way they're gaining that trust with each other, but not only from family standpoint, they're also doing that with the other people that are within that workshop.
I think my hopes and visions around my community for cooking is if the kids have that knowledge on how to prepare food for themselves and knowing, I guess, what's going into their bodies and how it nourishes themselves. So just having that full circle.
I want to strive for is living off the land, so mass producing our own crops. And the joys of being able to help our community, especially our elders, and handing out certain items to them, it's pretty rewarding just to see them smile, as soon as they open the door.
we always learn something new every day. So there's maybe something, 1 or 2 or 3 things I've learned today that I didn't know yesterday, and how to make things simpler, safer, and more enjoyable.
As we move forward, there's been lots of connections made today and conversations that were started that need to continue, whether it's with Kim and myself or amongst each other, or connections to some of the other sort of support network of people with expertise at Roots and other places. And I know people have mentioned a few things to me today that I'm like, oh, I need to follow up and ask other people from other communities. So this is like a spark for future work. I'm hoping that you're leaving here feeling full and happy, but energized, and like you've come away with some useful things as you go forward in your work.